If you have been studying EFT tapping for a while, then you probably have come across the term borrowing benefits. The idea behind borrowing benefits is that individuals can experience relief from their own issues by tapping along while watching or listening to another person go through an EFT session, even if the issues being addressed are different. This concept was discovered by chance in the early days of EFT, when people in the audience would tap along while watching the live demo session, so that the demo subject wouldn't be the only person tapping. Many were pleasantly surprised to find out that they felt relief in some of their issues, even if they were different to the issues worked on in the demo. Now, the exact mechanism behind borrowing benefits remains a mystery. It might be because of mirror neurons, which are brain cells that fire both when we perform an action and when we observe that same action performed by others, helping in understanding and imitating behaviors. So it might be because of mirror neurons creating an emotional resonance, or maybe our subconscious mind is very skilled at finding parallels between the other person's issues and our own, even if they seem to be quite different. But still, it's a useful phenomenon we can take advantage of in our tapping. Today, in this video, I'm going to suggest a way of doing that. Sometimes it can be difficult to tap by ourselves, coming up with the right words, remaining tuned in while we tap, etc. can all be challenging. A practitioner can help us do all these things, but that's not always available at all times. In those cases, we can try using borrowing benefits in our favor. There are many excellent EFT sessions uploaded on YouTube. One of the playlists that I recommend, EFT from A to Z, that was created by EFT Master Training Alina Frank, contains more than 25 sessions that you can watch and tap along. I'm going to leave the link to that in the description below, and you might also be able to see it here above. Now, here's my recommendation though. Don't just watch it and tap along completely mindlessly, without selecting a target that you want to borrow benefits for, because this process works better if we are a bit more focused and intentional. So first, choose a relevant event related to your issue, like an upcoming presentation at work if you're working on the issue of fear of public speaking. Before tapping along with the YouTube session, identify and assess what thought and feeling are you noticing the most when you think about this event now. You can also measure the intensity of that feeling using a 0 to 10 scale. And I recommend that you choose a recent or future specific event to borrow benefits for. Once you start watching the YouTube session and tapping along, I recommend that you stop every few rounds of tapping to reassess. When thinking about that recent or future event that you chose, what do you notice now in terms of that thought and or feeling that you have become aware of? Has it decreased in intensity? Is there another thought and or feeling coming up? Another emotionally charged aspect of that same event? If so, that can become the new target for the borrowing benefits. All you have to do is tap along to the YouTube session. Ideally, while you are tapping along, you are mostly focusing on the YouTube session, even if it doesn't seem to be related to your own issues and experiences. When I do it myself, though, I notice that my mind is partly focusing on the session that I'm watching and partly thinking about the issue or event that I chose for myself to borrow benefits. But it tends to work anyway. If you want, you can write down on a piece of paper what event or aspect you are setting the intention to borrow benefits for. For example, feeling terrified, imagining the look on my boss's face as he listens to me give that presentation at work, and it feels like an 8 out of 10. I don't think it's really indispensable to write it down. It's kind of optional. What I would recommend prioritizing is to make sure that you stop and reassess every so often what's happening with the specific event that you are attempting to make progress on. Now, keep in mind that borrowing benefits cannot fully substitute the experience of working with a practitioner, especially for more complex or chronic issues. But it can be a great complement to do in between sessions and or when tapping on our own. And like I always say, if this feels too difficult to do on your own, consider enlisting the help of a certified practitioner like myself or someone else whose style you resonate with. A trained professional can guide you through the process and tailor the techniques to best suit your needs. So that's it for today. I hope that it was useful. If you have any comments or questions, leave them below, and I look forward to seeing you again in one of my next videos.